I have a question for you. Are you likable? Do others perceive you as likable? And why are we even talking about it here on a channel about public speaking and communications? Well, let me explain to you. Likability is an underrated asset. If you are viewed as being more likable, you have a far greater chance of other people listening to your messaging. So if we're here to improve our communication skills, it makes sense that we also work on our likability factor, because if we're likable, as I said, we have a far greater chance of sharing our messaging to the people around us and getting them to listen. So stick with me. I'm going to share my top tips today, and every single one of them you can start to use in your very next conversation. All eyes on me, I shine with everything I do. Hi, I'm Jane, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about likability. Let's start with the definition. To be regarded as likable are people who are pleasant, friendly, agreeable, and easy to like. So we have a definition straight away of what we're trying to achieve. Now, just to reiterate why I said this before, we're not trying to be likable in some weird, overly friendly fashion. We're trying to be likable so that other people will give us a chance with our messaging. We know all those people who are brilliant and their messaging is clear and to the point, but they're not viewed as very likable. So people tend to disregard what they're saying. So if you're in a situation where you are trying to persuade, motivate, educate, entertain, advocate, whatever it is you're trying to do with your messaging, if you are perceived as likable, it's going to hit home and connect with your listeners with far greater success. So let's drill down a bit on this likability. If this is something you like the sound of, then won't you just hit the thumbs up button below so I know what kind of content I should be making for you. Let's jump right in. The first thing we're going to do to raise our likability is what I believe the easiest and also the most obvious, and that is use people's names and smile. Dead simple. The moment you use somebody's name, you're sending out a message, hey, I see you. I remembered your name. Immediately, you go up in their eyes. Oh, that person remembered me. They know my name. We all know how frustrating it is when you've met someone 50 times and they still don't know your name. So simply by using somebody's name and smiling, you're going to be making that connection, right? And by you smiling, 90% of the time, they'll echo the smile back to you. So start off with the name and the smile. We can do this in so many situations. Walk into class, walk into an office, walk down a corridor, walk into the lobby, the foyer, the meeting room, whatever it is, and you can look at the person. Hi, how you doing, Nandita? Right? Simple thing. Name and smile. Your likability goes up in their eyes. The next thing, and this is my favorite thing because it is so underrated and so many people don't realize it, is use your hands. Show your hands and particularly show your palms. This is critical. There are so many studies explaining why this is so vital. Back in ancient times, if you couldn't see somebody's hands, they were inside a fold of clothing, they were behind their back, they were obscured in some way, you were hesitant. You were concerned because you didn't know maybe they had a weapon in that hand, a rock, a sword, a whatever in their hand. So you were very cautious. So human beings still fall back on that ancient gene where we see someone's hands are not visible or we don't see their hands and immediately we feel a little bit caught off guard. So what you want to do is you want to have your hands visible. Now, we're going to combine visible hands with a palm, and we're going to combine it with what we just learned about smile and names. So you walk into a group and all you do is, oh, hi there, Mike, like that. Or you see someone across a room, you can't speak their name because it's too loud or too far or whatever. You can just go this, raise your hand. You don't need to do any mad hand waving like you're summoning help. Literally just show your palm. That immediately puts the other person at ease. Ah, this is a friend, this is not a foe, right? Think about it. When you go into situations, a first date, an interview, you're sitting in an important meeting, you're trying to make an important point, make sure your hands are seen, right? So you walk into that first date, you walk into that interview, whatever, either have your hands in your lap where someone can see them clearly if you're in open chairs, but if you're sitting at a table and desk, you can just rest your hands gently, put your wrists on the table, not your elbows, and just have your hands showing like this. Immediately, they're going to feel a connection with you. There was a study where they interviewed police subjects, and if their hands were hidden, they viewed the person as less trustworthy. They were hiding their hands. So the strength of showing your hands, and particularly your palms, is huge. Combine it with the first two, your likability goes up. The third one is the handshake. It leads straight on from hands. Do not underestimate the strength of a good handshake. It's easy to practice. Have a nice dry palm. If your palms get damp, wipe them on your clothing. I know it sounds awful, but just dab them off on your clothing beforehand. Shake hands with a dry palm, nice and firm, 1, 2, and let go. When you do that, make sure you look the person in the eye when you do it. Shaking a hand, leaning in, hi John, right? Across the passage, oh, hi there. That immediately creates likability. The fourth one, I've already talked about it, is eye contact. We've been over and over this. People who fail to make good eye contact are judged as being unsure of themselves and, sadly, not trustworthy. I know it's hard to hear that because it's not something that people choose to do. Some people do struggle to make eye contact, but do try to keep a gentle eye contact, particularly with the person that you're speaking to. Studies show that when you focus your attention on the other person, their estimation of you increases because you're giving them all the attention, and that's an easy one to do. Moving on, number 5, not such a major one, but it plays a part in it. Remember, when you're sitting or standing, do stand with good posture. Whether you're the boss in the room or you're the junior, sit with good posture. Again, studies show that when people slump or hunch or, sit at a table like this or whatever, they're viewed as being unhappy. They don't want to be there. They're not enjoying themselves. And remember, our definition is that you're pleasant and agreeable, right? So if you're in a meeting and someone's hunched over or slumped or slouched or whatever, it sends a very strong picture, I don't want to be here, right? But the rest of us are here. So don't be that person. Remember, good posture, whether you're standing or sitting, sends a very strong signal. I'm happy to be here. I'm taking part. I'm enjoying this. So the people around view you as being more positive, more likable, because you're happy and contributing in that situation. It goes together perfectly. The 6th one, and this you can use sparingly, and that is mirroring the other person's behavior. Now, as I say, use this sparingly and do it in a very subtle fashion. So we as humans enjoy seeing ourselves mirrored back, right? Even from the times of babyhood, we like to see ourselves being mirrored back in some way. So if you're with someone and you really do agree with what they're saying, or you want to show, I'm here with you, I'm listening to you, right? Because that makes your likability go up, then make sure you drop in little subtle elements of mirroring. If they reach for a glass and take a sip of water, give it a couple of beats, you reach for a glass, take a sip of water. If they sit with their arms like this for a bit, just comfy and cozy, then maybe you can sit with your arms like that for a bit, comfy and cozy. Look at how their legs are folded. Look at where their feet are. Subtle, subtle mirroring. They will perceive you as being right there with them, which again increases your likability. So now we have these 6 fairly easy things that we can do that will project an aura of likability to the people that we're speaking to. We do this, as I said, not because we're going into some crazy people-pleasing mode. No, we're doing it because when we speak, and everybody's voice matters, when we speak, we're not just putting words in the air, as I always say. We're speaking with intention and purpose. And if other people are more receptive to our messaging, The chances are our messaging is going to connect effectively. Now we've got the bridge of communication in. So put them into practice. If you've got any other tips or little things that you do that you believe raise likability, please put it in the comments below so that we can all learn from each other. And as always, if you could subscribe to the channel, it helps me know what the community wants to do. And please, again, keep layering on the skills. Remember, we have to keep working at this, and I've got lots and lots of videos that will help you build your skills as a super communicator. Thank you for your time. As always, see you next week. All eyes on me.